Someone must be looking out for me this week. And I'll talk about that on this segment of the Gig Geezer. If this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. This may be my Father's Day present to myself. In that, earlier today, before my queen left go out of town, I told her that what I'm looking to do is to earn about $100 or so, meaning that if I can get to $3,000 this week, because that's all I need is about $100, then I won't be going out tomorrow, Father's Day. And I'm in the process of heading to the pickup location on a last mile gig delivery opportunity, and that order is gonna put me across that finish line. And I say this: somebody must be looking out for me. The reason why I say that, if you follow the Gig Geezer at any length or duration, you may recall this segment of the Gig Geezer where I mentioned about the new norm, where there's been a big drop-off in the money offered on last mile gig delivery opportunities. And then there's also the difficulty of when you're negotiating for brokered opportunities, in that you've got brokers that are really shopping around for cheap freight. And that's something I mentioned on this segment of the Gig Geezer. And I have mentioned, maybe I've hinted at it, but I have not felt confident with going out here and doing things, because the market has not been as vibrant as it was just a year ago. 2024, you've really had to work for it. And this week is completely unexpected. Last year, I put out segments of the Gig Geezer in which I earned 3 G's, and I kind of felt on a couple of occasions like I could do it. I mean, I had that $3,000 feeling in me, and it was just a matter of stringing together the right opportunities, and it happened. And then there was one in which I said I won ugly, and yet I earned over 3,000. This time around, with this being the first time this year that I've hit 3,000, there is not a victory lap bone within me. There is not a victory lap feeling within me, because it was just this is unexpected, and quite frankly, I would say that things really took a turn in my direction on actually Wednesday night, and then it seemed to manifest Thursday, and then yesterday, and today is Saturday, June 15, 2024. So what do I mean? Monday through Thursday, I told myself when I finished the day at 1,500 and change that it was nice to see the combination of earnings days that I'd seen to that point. I mentioned about Wednesday evening. That's because I got notification of a delivery opportunity. I actually got two delivery opportunity notifications that totaled $334. And I do have a video on that coming out. It's short, very soon. And what happened also that day, I happened to catch a last mile delivery opportunity that paid $115. And I've mentioned a lot lately about how in my market, the Columbia, South Carolina metropolitan area, how even with certain gig apps, there have been certain types of people who have been onboarded onto the app that have killed the market in terms of certain gig app opportunities, meaning that they're grabbing and claiming shit when it comes out, and not really allowing things to kind of develop or build up, or even bottom line is they could get those opportunities at more money, but they're not doing that. And so it's putting you in a position where you've got to pretty much look for the best of the worst. So now I've talked about 5 minutes or so into this segment. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome comments in the section below. At the end, well, that evening, after completing that last mile opportunity, so we're talking still Thursday evening, one of the brokers that I deal with, in fact, the broker who actually put together this opportunity on this segment of the Gig Geezer, he contacted me and asked me if I were empty and if I would be available to do a run from Somerville to Raleigh. And again, I'll go into greater detail about that in a future Gig Geezer segment. But the bottom line is that he asked me what my number would be. I told him 550. He said he'll get back with me and then I got a rate confirmation sheet along with the necessary documentation to complete that order, that delivery opportunity, that brokered opportunity. So I'm like, okay, I got that. And so I'm thinking, well, while I'm in Raleigh, maybe I'll find something there, maybe another brokered opportunity or even gig app opportunities. And I happened to catch one as I'm leaving Raleigh. I hung around, and as I was leaving, I happened to catch one that was going to Southern Pines that paid $90.74. So then I'm back in Columbia, and I'm saying it again because I can't not express enough that I'll have a more detailed account of things in a future Gig Geezer segment. When I got back to Columbia, I'm thinking that, well, I'm going to cop a snooze and then work on some content. I happened to check out a load board, and I noticed there was one from Charleston to Charlotte, and I figured, well, what the fuck? I'll put a number in on it, and about 30 minutes later, I got a rate confirmation sheet. They went with my number. So it started, I got the rate confirmation sheet at 450, but there were some things that happened, and ultimately I got paid $700 for that opportunity. And so now I had earned $1340 for Friday. And I'm not gonna say I was stunned, but I certainly didn't see it coming. I didn't, because I've had a lot of shit happen lately, and it's been well documented. It's been documented, some things that have happened, and then there are other things that have happened personally, and it just makes you, when things like this, when weeks and days like I've had happen, it's like, definitely somebody's looking out for you, some way, somehow. So again, this is not a victory lap. I'm describing what happened for the $3,000 week, but I mean, it certainly doesn't happen. It's not a number that you hit often. I mean, 2,000 is a number that I've become very familiar with or accustomed to. Even last year, in the midst of earning a lot of $2,000 weeks, I had a handful of $3,000 weeks. But I kind of felt like they were coming along. I've not had that feeling in 2024. That's what I'm getting at. I've not had that feeling, not a single week. And the only time that I ever made mention of it, which was to my queen, I told her that all the dominoes have to fall the right way. And maybe that's what happened this week. Now, if it happens again, if it happens again and it's and the interval in which it happens is much sooner than later into this year, I may have a different opinion about it. Alrighty, so we've picked up this order turned out to be 10 pieces of plywood. I mentioned that it was probably plywood or sheetrock, and it was plywood. It was the slightly heavier one. Typically, the plywood with the blue bordering or the blue paint that's on it lets you know that it's slightly heavier. Most sheets of plywood weigh about 45 pounds. This one weighs 49. But 10 sheets, that's nothing. So what I'm likely to do is once I get to the drop-off location is just slide them off the van and stop, drop, and hop and keep it moving. This is going to pay me $82.95, and that's going to bring the weekly total to $3,021 and change. And for the day, that's going to put me at about 119 and change, in fact. So not bad for a half a day. Being very selective with what I was going to go after. Again, this is not a week that I had any feeling or inkling that it was going to unfold the way it did. And I guess that happens sometimes. So what we're going to do is pick up this conversation from the drop-off location and then wrap up this segment of the Gig Geezer. Alrighty, this delivery was out to the sticks, and it is what it is. In fact, it's about to rain now. In fact, it is raining, and I'm just glad that it's done. When I backed into the yard, I was greeted by a couple of dogs. Fortunately, though, they were on their leash, and someone came out and offered to help me unload the planks of wood. So again, this paid $82.95. It was actually the best offer that I saw all day. I am in the Columbia area. And one thing that I've tried to do is be very selective with the last mile gig delivery app opportunities, and hopefully they'll bounce around to an app where the orders may pay more. I do want to end this segment of the Gig Geezer by acknowledging the fathers and even the ladies who have served double as mother and father for their kids. I attempted to do something acknowledging fathers 2 years ago, and I shared some things about, like, my scoutmaster, Mr. Whitney Collins, who sacrificed a lot of time for us wannabe thugs with in my scout troop. And I guess in my own not so smart ways at the time, though, but eventually I did go back and thank him for the time he spent. The time that he spent, I thanked him. I went back and thanked him for the time he spent, and hopefully it gave some closure to my earning Eagle Scout. He mentioned at my Eagle Scout ceremony, every Scoutmaster wants to say that they've had an Eagle Scout, and today I can say that. That's what he said almost going on 45 years ago. I also mentioned 2 years ago, I believe that there are two things other than their name that a father can give a child, and that's time and wisdom. I do realize, given how rough the economy is, that a lot of us have been jostled around financially, be it work situation or just shit coming up. And some of us have turned to the gig economy as a way of earning money to do what we feel that we should do. And I guess my encouragement to you guys is to just keep at it. I don't have any cookie cutter formulatic answer, because I'm out here just like you are, trying to putting in my grind day in and day out. But maybe you may look at me as an inspiration, as somebody who has tried to make it work day in, day out, week in, week out, month in and month out. And hopefully your day is a blast. Hopefully you'll get some nice gifts instead of the typical rinky-dink Father's Day gifts that we tend to get. And if it's not gifts, maybe they'll just leave you to yourself and just have time to yourself. But then again, it may be nice to actually have that time with your family, because time is something that a lot of fathers I have come to meet over the decades realize that they can't get back. And so with that, if you like the content in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.